All of our survival tendency we built over the centuries. It's creativity when we can't get what we really need. But let me catch a cracker with an Arizona and some Skittles. Take them off the map, 30 in his back like Kerry Kittles. Bitch dentals, stop pulling comp over and tender rentals. Choke them out, then blame it on.
Yeah, what's going on, y'all? That's new music from Chicago's very own The Alumni. The track is off their new album, the Seneca Richardson album. Shout out to the big homie Sin Rich, man. Gone too soon, but never forgotten. Oh, wait, that might be me. That might actually be me. Like, I don't know how to do this. Yo, man, it's the first time being back in the room. I'm so sorry. Yo, you can find that track and all their other albums on iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon, and all other music platforms. Again, that is Black Fist by The Alumni off their new album, the Seneca Richardson album. They are Chicago's own, man. They're doing big things out here in Chicago. Really proud of them brothers. They're actually out from the woods too. You know, the West Side, West Burbs representing. I love it. Welcome to Rick's Room here on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeart Radio Station. I am your host, Mr. Rick. It's so good to be back in the room, y'all. It's been a minute. I know there's some things going on. You know, got to pay the bills. A little 9 to 5. It's not really 9 to 5, more like 9 to 9, but whatever. It got the bills paid. So, but we get a chance to get back here in the room. We got you live streaming. We'll talk about that in just a second. But if this is your first time in the room hanging out with us, hello to you. Welcome to the room. This is a place where we kick back, have adult conversations, confronting stereotypes, current events, social actions, whatever else that may come up. I just ask that you remember to be respectful. And if you're back again for another visit, thanks for swinging back by. You know the deal. Go ahead and grab your adult beverage and get comfortable. Find you a chair, a couch, have a seat on the love seat, sit on the floor, wherever. Just stay off my bed. And we're live streaming, broadcast live on Facebook. That's Facebook over there. So wave to Facebook, say, hey, Facebook. We got YouTube and IntellectualRadio.com and all these other cameras, so you can wave all around if you want to and say hey to all of them everywhere else as well. You can always catch up on any of the shows here at the IntellectualRadio.com family. Just check out iHeartRadio.com or iTunes and search for Intellectual Radio under the podcast section. You can find all of the other shows, hosts, and the Intellectual Radio family. I'm really excited tonight to have a good friend of mine here helping me co-host the show tonight. We in the room. I haven't known her long, but it feels like I've known her for a long time. So we're gonna have a good time tonight. I want y'all to welcome Mrs. Crystal Hammond to the building, to the room. What's going on?
Going.
Welcome. You excited to be here tonight?
I'm very excited. I took off work. I'm sick.
Well, listen, what I ain't got to worry about is that no more. So we good. So tonight we have a couple of different topics that we're going to talk to you all about, and we want you to participate in the conversation as well. So like I said, you got Facebook Live going there, so you can always comment. I see a few of you all have started checking in, and I appreciate you all. What's going on? Hey, Jess, what's going on to you? Ryan Levy, what's up, brother? Nice to see you. Miss Asia Jamal, how you doing, Miss Songbird? I got to get some new tracks from you so we can get you out here too as well on the show. But you all, I'm looking forward to talking to you all as well. Ms. Crystal and I going to have a conversation talking about the LGBTQ community and voting. You know, we got midterm elections coming up, you know what I mean? And with midterm elections coming up, it's definitely important for all of the communities to be involved in voting. But, you know, with that, we have some areas and some communities that should be paying attention to the candidates and what's important or what platforms these candidates are on. And one of that includes the LGBTQ community, right? You know what I'm saying? So we want to make sure that that we're discussing what issues or topics that concerns, platforms that they may have. Tonight, we're also going to be talking about, so, you know, here in Chicago, Van Dyke verdict is in. I didn't see a big party out in the street, but there might be a Van Dyke verdict party somewhere. You let me know what's going on. I used to have these West Side juke parties, and I don't know if they're doing a Van Dyke verdict party, but we're talking about the Van Dyke, Jason Van Dyke verdict and the Bill Cosby verdict tonight too as well. And lastly, I wanted to get into a topic that my good friend here, Ms. Crystal, is so knowledgeable about when we talk about personal appearances. If y'all tuned in on the show last week, a few weeks ago, we talked about personal appearance, and one of the things that came up was weaves and wigs, and you know, I decided to bring someone on the show who has, you know, a little bit of experience with it, right? So we're gonna talk about that too as well tonight. So remember, you can always join in the conversation there on Facebook. We got your comments streaming live down here. Also, give us a call. 708-223-8953 is the number to dial and get your comments and your questions also heard on air. If in the event you want to take a look at maybe sponsoring Rick's Room or have an idea for a show topic, you can always reach me at Rick's Room 2. That's RIXROOM, the number 2 at gmail.com. And we might get your idea, your show topic here on the show. So check it out. Send me over what you got, and we'll include it on the discussion. So a couple of things that I want to make sure that we cover tonight, because bills are important. We want to make sure that we get bills paid and taken care of. And Mr. Earl is back there making sure that we sound good. So we want to make sure that we do sound good and that we get those bills paid. So I'm gonna go over a few sponsors tonight and get that up and running here in just a second. I don't know why my laptop is moving a little slow today, but that's all right. So Ms. Crystal, let me talk to you real quick about, I told you I wanted to do, for those of you all who might not know about Chicago, Chicago has a couple of different sides, but two sides that are just important. A few different sides, but two sides that are definitely important. So I want to do a West Side versus South Side check-in real quick because, I'm from the West Side. And don't do that. And Ms. Crystal over here is from
the low end.
Oh, I didn't know you were from the low end.
Yes, I am.
Are you really?
Street, baby.
Are you from 39th Street?
Yes,
You ain't had to pull your hair like that,
Yes,
though. And for those of you out there that couldn't see it, yeah, she pulled her hair now. Talk to us real quick and let us know. What does that mean when you say the low end?
I am from 511 East Browning.
You said, we have a couple of technical difficulties. Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
All right. So 511
East Browning. First from 527, then to 511. So I stayed on 39th, right across the street from the Lake Meadow Shopping Center.
Did you go to that shop all the time?
I did when Goldblatt's was up.
Come on, throwback when Goldblatt's was up.
Yeah.
Yo, was Goldblatt's a Chicago thing, or was that like?
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else in the world knows about Goldblatt's, but
it was like a hood Walmart. You can go in there, you can buy shoes, clothes, oil, hair grease, flat irons, and groceries.
Really?
Yes.
Goldblatt's throwback. Yeah, so we're going to do a South Side versus West Side all throughout the show. So if you're tuning in with us, go ahead and check in. Let us know where you are hailing from. If you're listening on the South Side, go ahead and give a Crystal a point. If you're hailing from the West Side, and the suburbs included. All right, so if you're from don't do that, because right now I'm Maywood, which is technically a suburb, but I'm from the West Side, Sacramento, Garfield Park. Represent. But so we definitely want to do that. But I know some of you all who are paying it or who's watching us tonight may not be from Chicago. So we want you to make sure that you get represented too as well. And
you see it.
Whatever. So we got one from the South Side already. Donna Brown Cartman is checking in from the South Side.
Right.
We'll see how many people we got. But like I said, we also got some people watching from all different parts of the country, all different parts, maybe even of the world. So go ahead and represent where you are from. Check in, let us know where you are watching us from, and we'll go ahead and shout you out too as well. Tonight's show is being brought to you in part by my good friend, Miss Natasha Garcia, who is celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Miss Tasha. It's 10-10. Representing after the 9-9, because 9-9 was mine, and then she's 10-10. Yeah, y'all get that later. But anyway, happy birthday, Miss Tasha. Check out my friends rolling in the Cookout on Wheels and plan your next big event. Whether you're planning something for your office, your family, your school, or even a wedding, which is the new thing, let the Cookout on Wheels take care of your dining needs. Call 630-708-2820 to schedule your event. And you can find them and follow them on Facebook at the Cookout on Wheels. That's the Cookout on Wheels, #FriendsFedHere. So let's go ahead and start off this discussion tonight with the Van Dyke verdict. All right. So did you get a chance to actually watch the reading of the verdict?
I did watch it today.
You watched it today?
I watched it this morning. It was live stream, but I had to work, so I caught some of it on live, and then I watched the actual verdict today online.
Really?
Yeah.
So what did you think? How did you feel about the verdict?
I mean, as far as the verdict in itself, I was surprised that he actually got charged, to say the least. Even though it was of the lesser charge, I was surprised he got charged at all. Because, that's the first time a Chicago police officer has been charged for an on-duty shooting in a very long time.
I know, right?
It's like 50 years or something. So I was just shocked that he got charged at all.
I'm like, but I mean, so what do you think? Have we made some progression in the social justice arena? Do you think that this has been something that can help move us forward as people of color?
Not at all.
Why not?
This was one of many, and I only feel like he got charged because it was in Chicago and because it was such an uproar, and they knew that if the case didn't go the way that the people felt they should go, and that no justice was served, that it could have went really bad.
I mean, maybe,
I really feel that way,
but
because there's so many other incidents of police officers killing somebody on duty and nothing happened, or them not getting charged. But here in Chicago, they made a point that I'm upset about it. They were standing outside the courtroom. They were standing outside of everywhere. Like, if this doesn't happen, this is what's going to happen. We're going to do this. We're going to riot. We're going to loot. So all in all, I think the higher ups were scared.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey,
very scared.
I was like, you know what? I really wasn't going to. I'm not the type of person to jump out there and get violent or belligerent, when things don't go our way. But for me, it was actually, and it's sad to say, but for me, it was going to be just here we go again. It's just another one.
Exactly.
That's getting away with this. So I was really happy to see and hear that. And did you see there was only one black person on the jury? Like, the jury, four woman was the only black person on the jury. Like, that surprised me. I'm like, if in the event we had 11 other I don't know what other ethnicities there were on the jury, but to only have one person of color, or one black person, I should say, specifically on that jury, it looked to me like, we potentially have been, we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, baby steps, though.
You're right.
Baby steps.
You're right. Baby steps. So you have kids, right?
I do.
How many kids you got?
I have 3 boys.
So what are some of the things that you have to teach your boys, when it comes to growing up? And did you even use this trial as a like a platform or discussion point for them to learn about what it's like to be a black man in this society?
Well, my oldest son is 15 and he barely leaves the house, and he's very respectful. I just teach him to respect his elders. That's the thing with a lot of people as well. They feel like the police are against us. So coming into the situation, there's a lack of respect because they feel like, oh, you don't care. You're just here to police. You don't really care about what happens. So as soon as it's aggression from the beginning of when you see a police officer, it's not, oh, officer, what happened? It's why you pull me over? What did I do wrong? And then the outcome goes left. When if you walk into the situation with some sense, you might get a different outcome. Not in all cases, but that's what I teach my kids. Be respectful. Don't be aggressive, and just be respectful. That's it. That's it.
When you gotta teach your kids that, right? And when they're children of color, they have to know that they're up against, and it's sad that that's the case for them, but they're up against, they're already against, like the police are already against them because of they're black, they're men, so they're potential a threat. Right, exactly. But wait, you're on the low end, so they shouldn't be bothering them at all. Wait, are they growing up on the low end? What are they out south? They way south, huh?
They out south, everywhere out south, everywhere out south.
Speaking of out south, we got another South Side checking in. I thought I saw a South Side checking in. Where was it? It was a South Side checking in. Miss Asia Jamal.
Nobody from the West Side checking in. Now it's
come on, where my West Side folks at?
Oh, one person.
Asia Jamal is checked in from the South Shore area, but moved to Hammond, Indiana. That's still South Side. It's just fine. It is. It really is still the South Side.
Yes, it is.
Real talk. It's just a suburb of the South Side.
You still matter.
But I guess there you have it. You still matter, Miss Asia Jamal. But thanks for checking in. Appreciate it. Miss Charlene Hobson, looking good, sounding great. Thank you so much, darling. I appreciate it. Daniel said you would be drinking wine. Well, I mean, we could have done something else, but we had to keep it a little light. Miss Crystal has to work tomorrow. So no, you just got the kids. You got to get up for school in the morning.
Get up for school in the morning, and I work a double.
Right. So she was going to bring the Hennessy through, but I tried to. The caliber of this show doesn't allow for Hennessy to be here.
It's not, because unless you don't want me to use profanity, and hen makes you sin. So we just not gonna do it.
No, that was gin. No, see what we doing with hen?
You showed your age. No, it's not gin anymore. It's hen.
It's not gin
Nobody
anymore.
Drinks gin anymore.
What are you talking about? Nobody drinks gin anymore. All right, whatever. So we had a few people checking in. Miss Kimberly Purdue, shout out to Miss Kim Purdue. Make sure you tune in and check her out. She is Got a show coming up too. I want to make sure that I get details for her, but check her out. She has a great topic that she's going to be discussing that she wants both men and women to be a part of. So we'll get some info to you. But shout out to Miss Kimberly Purdue. She says, yes, that was messed up. Only one. Jury selection is a thing. And you know what? And I had a show with a guest, Natasha Robinson Esquire, who we talked about jury selection and even how important it is for us to do our civic duty and to show up for jury duty. You know, when we get called for it, if we don't show up for jury duty, then that means, you know, we're not going to have any people of color for representing. So
it's in court. They don't go.
Do you go?
Traffic court?
No,
I'm
talking about
test all my tickets. Every last one, even if I'm in the wrong, because the officer hardly ever shows up and they throw him out. Thank you. Keep that in your mental Rolodex. Go to traffic court because a lot of times the officer would rather not be in court, so your tickets will typically get thrown out. Yes. I'm 8 for 9. One of them showed up. Oh, he showed up.
Wait. Where was it? Where was it? No, you was in there like.
I was like, God dang it. I'm gonna just pay this $100. But every other one I beat.
So show up to traffic court, show up to jury duty.
And to vote. A lot of people don't go and vote because they feel like, oh, it's only one vote. My vote doesn't matter. But if you have 100,000 people who feel like my one vote doesn't matter, then it puts a dent.
Yeah, it does. And we're going to talk about that a little later on too as well. Lisa Mundo checking in. What's going on, Miss Lisa? She says showing up for jury duty is a tough gig and you don't really make any money, but you are doing your civic duty and you are in some shape, form, or fashion potentially impacting someone's freedom.
Yeah.
You know, like I got summoned for jury duty when I first moved back and I was like, yeah, y'all got me already. I just moved back. How'd you even know? But right, exactly. They was on it. But I'll tell you that I personally, like, I love watching Law and Order. I'm an SVU fanatic, you know, especially shout out to the SVU crew. You know what I'm saying? When they got the marathons on, what is it? USA, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Oh, good. On that Sunday. I'm so glad to have Sundays off now where I can just chill and watch SVU all day after church, of course. But whatever, it works. I do. I'll sit there and watch SVU all day. But I like to, I pay attention to that. So when I got something for jury duty, I was amped. I'm like, yes, I'm ready. I will be there. I'm early. Like, I was that geek. So, and I got chosen for the jury foreperson. And then they started asking the questions, and the case was around someone and their non-rent payment and getting kicked out. And they asked, they asked if I'd ever been in that situation. And I said, I have. I sure have. And they were like, yep, you got to go.
Have you been summoned since then?
No, I haven't. I haven't been summoned. Right, exactly. But I got so close. I got so close. I was in the jury foreperson seat. So me and this headphone cord are just not getting along today. I don't understand what's going on. So what we got? So we got. You know what we didn't do, Crystal? I'm so sorry. We didn't get a chance to cheers with the people watching. So if you are at home watching, happy hump day. Yes. Cheers to you. It's almost the middle of the week. No, it is the middle of the week.
It's the middle. So
go ahead and get you a drink and hang out with us here in Rick's room. So we're talking about the Van Dyke verdict and you know what that's looking like in Chicago. And I'm really glad that, you know, it didn't get to a point where we would riot and loot our own city. And I had some hopes for us as a people, as a community of the city of Chicago. I did. I was like, we not go, no matter what the verdict is, we're going to be good. We're going to make it through. It's going to be a thing. We'll be all right.
I'm going to tell you when I lost hope. I lost hope when somebody screenshot the news feed going live. And there was a girl she was on channel, I believe, CBS, and they caught her in the camera. She was standing there with a bonnet on her head, rolling up, ready. She was ready and this is on the actual news channel.
Yeah.
Like, they caught her.
Where was it? Was she on the south side?
We're not about to.
She was on the south side. West, actually. She was not from out west. She
had out west went all over her. She had on Jabot jeans. You know she was from out west or Gary.
And we're going to talk about the difference between South Side and West Side. Look, because it is a thing here in Chicago. If you are not from Chicago, let me tell you, it is a thing. The difference between South Siders and West Siders, I 100% believe it. So we're going to talk about that too. But so you know what? So let me ask you this. You know, with the trial and this verdict now coming out, you know, then did you see they got him up in Rockford? Like, they won't even put him in county. while he's waiting for his sentencing. Like they got him out in Rockford, and I'm thinking like don't people in Rockford watch what's going on in Chicago? Because there's like no other really. Well, I guess there's. But
I didn't expect them to put him in the county anyway, because every time you look up, somebody's getting hurt in the county, and the county is on lockdown, especially with it being televised. And so many people were in tune with it, and they knew what was going on. It would just would have went left. I mean, as soon as he walked in, it would have been like, man, they would have had to put him on lockdown. So they knew better than to do that. That's why they put him out there.
Well, it makes sense. It makes sense. But so this verdict comes out right after, on the heels of Bill Cosby. I've kind of stayed away from this conversation, Crystal, because I have some feelings about it, and I've seen a lot of different posts and opinions about it, and I kind of agree with a lot of it. You know what I mean? But how did you feel when you saw America's Dad get convicted of what was it, rape? Sure, he got convicted.
Criminal sexual assault, I believe.
It's a criminal sexual assault. You got?
I believe so.
Okay, so but he's found guilty, right? What do you, as a woman, right? I know that there's probably some impressions that come from being a woman. How did you feel when you saw that, when you heard that verdict?
I feel like if it did happen, then he should have went to jail when it happened. Don't come years and years and years later and then say, oh, he raped me and I want him to go to jail and he's a senior citizen. Like, where have you been all this time? Why all of a sudden now do you want to say, oh, I was raped back in 1972? And a iffy situation because he's 81. She's probably old too. Can we really believe her account of everything? Because my grandma can't even remember what she ate yesterday, let alone what happened 20 years ago.
Wait, hold on. Now this is gonna rouse some people up. I know this is gonna rouse some people up. Rouse them up. Go ahead. Let's
talk about Bill Cosby back in his heyday. Bill Cosby was popping.
He was.
So how do I not know that you went in that room of your own free will and he promised you something and then you didn't get something that was promised and you've been sitting around angry, and now all of a sudden all these other people are coming out like he raped me, and now you're like he raped me too. So how can we believe what really happened when it happened so long ago? I mean, we got evidence. We got
history books that have accounts of certain history that people would argue to say that it probably didn't happen the way that it was written. I'm just saying. I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
Believe everything in the history book?
I don't.
I don't either. I mean, I could take this conversation to the Bible, but I don't want to rouse too many people up. So we're not gonna go to the Bible and how I feel about the Bible's account of everything.
We know we got some stories in there.
Everything on paper.
I hear you. Now,
where's the physical evidence? Where's the rape kit? Where's the swab?
Get Olivia back on the scene.
Get somebody from SVU, because they solved all their crimes.
All the crimes get solved.
This went unsolved for how long? And now all of a sudden he in a senior home and almost getting ready to go in the dirt, and they about to go send this man to jail.
I know, right? And they gonna put him in jail too. Like,
he's going to jail.
He is too old to be in jail. Like, my thing was this: he's all this could have happened, like you said. It could or could not have happened. We don't really have. I mean, I don't even know what the physical evidence was.
Only those two.
Exactly.
Really
what really happened. And even if it did, and he's paying, the price for what he did, the penalty for what he did.
Yeah.
My thing is, you got a president in office that has been accused of so much more, and nobody's going after him with that same type of passion and vigor that they went after Cosby. I'm over this. It's right. But I'm saying, like, I don't see how. I mean, I get it. If he did the crime, do the time. Cliche as it is, but it's the truth. However,
what happens to the statute of limitations on these things?
Because I'm telling you, SVU beyond the statute of limitations. They're like, yo, if you don't get this report in, then the statute of limitations is out.
So I think he got sentenced in Pennsylvania, and I thought they said that the statute of limitations was 12 years, but they said this crime happened 14 years ago. So I was confused altogether from the beginning. Like, the judge called him what did he call him? A sexual deviant? I
believe that's what he called. Yes. Yeah. So look, we got a couple of comments, Scott. I told you're gonna get some people riled up with this. We'll go all the way back to Ethan Frost, who says, my wife got stuck on a murder trial in, I don't know what Dupas is, and was forced to see some awful things which have scarred her since. She prays she never gets summoned again. B Hank says, shout out to B Hank, one of the artists from The Alumni. You heard music from him earlier today. Check him out on iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon. He said, I just tell them I have an issue with police authority to get out of it Laughing but serious. I'm gonna try that. See if that works for me.
Asia Jamal. I got a traffic warrant. Jesus, I can't make it.
Asia Jamal. You know what, B? That actually does work. When you tell the police I got an issue with police in some regard, it can get you out. Well, okay. So Asia Jamal says, I did jury duty and made our case last 3 days. I was the one that changed the verdict. Nice job, Asia Jamal.
I would be mad at her. Like,
I
would be mad if we all 11 said something and it was that one person.
But look, she said she changed the verdict. I mean, maybe because
they were ready to go home.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they were, but anyway. All right, Miguel, what's going on, brother? He says, Pill Cosby. Wow. Popping pills and women's drinks. Kimberly says, yes, great point. Ethan comes back and says, I'm sure this is for Crystal. Who cares how long it's been? Who are we to tell a woman she has a timeline of when she has to turn him in?
Who are we? The criminal justice system. The only thing that I know of that doesn't have a statute of limitations is murder.
That's very true. This is true. And that's probably why.
Yeah,
that's why.
That's who we are.
That's why. Miguel says no one is too old to go to jail. And Ethan says he deserves it. He harmed a woman. He deserves it regardless of age. How
are we so sure that he harmed anybody?
You know what? Again, there was only two there. I get you.
When it happens, you should report it. That way, if you have witnesses, the story is still fresh in everybody's mind. You have the physical evidence, and that way they can get charged for the crime when the crime happens. If this happens before I was alive, why didn't you say anything before now? That's my whole thing.
Right.
If he did it, of course he should be in jail, 81 or not. But why wait so long?
That's
just like you breaking into my house and busting me upside my head, and I see you on TV 20 years from now, like, oh, I want him to go to jail now. I mean, you should go to jail because you busted me over my head. But why didn't I say anything before?
But baby,
why does no one know about this until all of a sudden now it just comes out?
Your hair's gonna keep you safe. Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing. You will be all right. Eric Anthony says, and why is the woman going in on another woman and dudes in the feed are defending women? Hey, you know what? Here's the thing. It's a conversation to have. And if you want to continue having a conversation, like I said, you make sure that you continue on chatting with us there on Facebook, or give us a call, 708-223-8953, if you want to talk to either Crystal or myself directly. Tonight's show is also being brought to you in part by Mr. Eric Lane, who's also commenting and checking in with us. Get your financial planning done with Agent Eric Lane from New York Life, 617-901-9460, or shoot him an email at elane, that's ELAYNE, at ft.newyorklife.com, and go ahead and get your your consultation scheduled. Tonight's show is also being brought to you by Total Environment Restoration Service. Hold on, let me take care of this real quick. It keeps happening. I don't know. In an age where advanced technology is used to keep us safe and healthy, Total Environmental Restoration Service has teamed up with SteraMist to prevent and mitigate any and all infectious control needs. SteraMist, powered by binary ionization technology, utilizes the most innovative disinfection technology on the market. It's EPA registered and even has a hospital disinfectant rating. For more information or to schedule a consultation, reach out to Ray Fron, owner and operations manager at 708-243-6809. That's Total Environmental Restoration Services. Yo, I'm gonna check them out too, because they're sterilizing and disinfecting a whole lot of things: hospitals, schools, houses after flood damage and mold. So check them out, Total Environmental Restoration Service. Ray Fron, 708-243-6809. All right, so we got a couple of y'all that are going in about this Bill Cosby verdict, and which is funny to me is Bill Cosby's getting more traction than Van Dyke is. But and maybe clearly there's a lot of people who are all about this. This is a thing. Crystal, let me ask you a question. When you have 3 boys, right? A lot of people with this movement, the whole hashtag Me Too movement, it's caused some, I guess, eye-opening a realization of how men are taught growing up to treat women, to refer to women, to all of that, engage with women.
Yeah.
What are some of the things, if any, are you taking anything from this trial, from this verdict, to educate or use as an example for your boys on how they should treat women?
From this trial on how they should treat
women? I mean, just in general, but
I mean, my sons were raised by women. My mother, my grandmother, my mother, and their great grandmother, and me. So they already know how to treat women. I mean, they don't curse. They barely go outside. They good school grades. I mean, I don't play. That's one thing I'm not going to play about. I mean, my sons know not to be disrespectful. Please, thank you. And if they do something that I don't like, I don't whoop my kids or anything. I take their stuff away.
Oh, you don't do the spanking?
Now my 3-year-old, he's getting a little, because he doesn't understand me taking away his thing. So when he acts out, I may give him a little pop on the hand. But as far as a flat out spanking, no. My son is 15. I do not hit my son. When my son acts up, no Fortnite for you. I'm in there unplugging the PlayStation headphones, cable boxes. And then you know what? He's the perfect angel the next day because he wants to play Fortnite.
Wow. So that's working for this generation.
It is. That's the problem. When you hit somebody and you give them a whooping, that's it. You whoop them, tell them not to do it. And then once the whooping is over, they have a hurt butt for a few minutes and they go right back to doing what they was doing. You teaching them to be sneaky. Now they're not going to get caught because they know they're going to get a whooping. And that's all they're going to get. Well, when I was younger, I used to, all right, I'm going to stay out. I'm going to do this. I know I'm going to get a whooping. Put on some pants under these pants, go and take my whooping, and then just keep it moving.
I don't think I ever did the layered pants
layers
routine for my mother.
Layers for whoopings. You got to go. She's in such a rage, she didn't even notice that you were layered up.
The only time I ever thought about layering up was when I was online pledging my organization. Never mind. So anyway, I never thought about that. But your boys, right? They being raised by women, they
know how to respect.
They're taught to respect women.
Yes, they're taught to respect women. Now you have a lot of people are in situations where they're single mothers and they work, and then their kids are left alone, and then they have so much outside influence that it just goes left. Because my brother was like that. My mother worked a lot. My brother was outside because at curfew she was still at work. I can't make him stay in the house. Whatever, not my mama. He's outside.
Older or younger?
Younger, okay. My younger brother. And now he's fine. But when he was younger, the streets got a hold of him. Well, he went through his little phase, wanted to be in a gang, got arrested. Now he's older, so he's out of that phase. But that's what a lot of young Black men go through.
But you know what? I don't
lack of a father figure.
I don't think that's a thing. I didn't go through that phase, and I had father figures throughout. Don't. But you're right.
Or the wrong type of father figure. Yeah. Your father's not around, and then you have your drug dealing uncle coming to pick you up all the time, and you seeing what's going on, or you have Lil Ray Ray around you all the time, or your mama's boyfriend.
Let me be clear. I didn't have any drug dealing uncles. None of my uncles. All right. And Lil Ray Ray was not on my block because he's out south. He's not out west.
Always dipped in gold, giving you money on every birthday and holiday.
I had some good uncles, but I don't know if they was dipped in gold. I'm telling you, it's a south side thing. That wasn't a west side thing. See, that was only out south.
They was on drugs. They couldn't give you no money. They was trying to steal your TV.
I got a couple of south side uncles, but most of them are from out west. Look, still make sure you checking in with us. Let me know if you're from the south side or west side of Chicago, where you're calling us, or commenting from. Ethan is commenting and says, "Oh, I know one of the New York Life guys, higher ups. I'll let you all talk about that later. I'm not worried about that." Joe Black is checking in. What's going on, sir? So we're talking about the Cosby verdict, and I think I want to move over to. I don't know if you had anything else you want to talk about the Cosby verdict, because we've already said this. Hashtag Olivia Benson. Hashtag Elliot Stabler's gone, but maybe he'll come back. We don't know. Gorgeous guy. And who else is anybody on the team? Y'all come on and find out what really happened.
That's the problem with criminal sexual assault. People don't say anything. It's I got raped, but I'm not gonna say anything because they're gonna say I was drinking, and then I let it happen to myself. If something happens to you, then say something when it happens. Because if somebody hurts you, you have the right to send that person to jail and get justice for yourself.
You know what? Let me ask you this. A lot of people
are scared to come forward.
Let me ask you this. You got 3 boys that you're raising at home. How do they feel about coming to you if in the event they have been sexually assaulted? Because it happens unfortunately, far too often in, I don't want to say the Black community, but just from my experience, it's a high number in the Black community where boys are in some shape, form, or fashion touched or molested, or and it's I don't know how often it still happens, but how comfortable are your boys with coming to tell you if in the event something has happened to them?
I mean, my son recently lost his virginity.
Oh, child. Wait a minute. The
And
first question is, how did you know that?
Because he wasn't comfortable telling me, but he has a very good relationship with my brother. So in the event that something did happen and he wasn't comfortable sharing it with me, I know that he would be comfortable sharing it with someone else, because he has a like that playful uncle. He's, oh, you lost your virginity. Good. You know, as far as me, I'm like, oh my God, no. When did this happen? Did you use protection? What are you talking? Who is she? Where's her mother? We need to get her a morning after pill. No, this is not going to happen. We switch schools. Got to get away from her. We need to talk about this. Go show him the book.
Such a typical mother.
I'm going to show you the STD pictures and the books, everything. And he would tell my brother, though, he was like, yeah, I did it, it was quick. We did it in the bathroom at school, actually, in between periods.
What is going on in schools these days? Like, never mind. So, but he lost his virginity to a woman.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, like, how would you feel, or do you think that they would even tell you if they've had same gender sex?
Being that I'm married to a woman, I feel like they will be okay with telling me.
Okay.
I'm extra. I'm over the top.
I know you are.
My first reaction to sex, period, will be, oh Lord, I fall on the floor, scream for Jesus.
But y'all don't know, she is quite extra. She is so extra.
Oh, you're ruining your life. I'm gonna go through that, but then I would be okay with it, whether he was having sex with a boy or a girl. It's the whole issue of sex in general at that young age.
Well, he's 15 though.
I know.
He's not watching this, is he? He's not. I hope he's not watching this, because if he's watching this, I don't want him to say that we said this.
When I post raunchy things on my Facebook, there's a little button up there where it says share with friends except, and their friends accept my child. Therefore, when I go on my Facebook rants, he's blocked from them.
Facebook is coming up with all different types of ways to do all kinds of things. And I appreciate that, Facebook. Thank you so much for allowing us to block certain people that we don't want in our business.
We can still be friends, but I don't want you to know about this.
Certain posts don't get a chance to get seen for by certain people.
Know my business. Business.
Right. But you know what? So they say mothers always know. And I don't know if you've blocked your kids from this one, but they say mothers always know. Do you think any of them might have a potential of becoming part of the LGBTQ community?
My middle son, he gives me vibes, but my other kids, my younger son is only 3, and
some parents will be like, "Yeah, I knew since you was walking."
He's 3, and he only talks to light-skinned girls with big poops, because he has a big poop. So he got this thing with light-skinned babies. I don't know what it is. Like little light-skinned girls, he likes to go over, give them his toys, snacks, like. And my older son, right. My middle son, not too sure. I mean, I'm like, I don't know.
Well, I hope they're comfortable in knowing that it's okay.
I wouldn't be surprised. Is what I'm saying.
And that's what mothers always say.
I'm like, if you are, just come on out and start making me wigs and dresses like everybody.
Okay, guys, don't do that. That's not a thing. See, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this.
I'm about to help you embrace this. What are you saying?
Speaking of the LGBTQ community, we want to get into a topic about voting, because midterm elections are coming up, and it's very important to get out there and vote, right? It's very important to make sure that your voice is heard. So if you're not registered to vote, make sure that you are getting registered in some place in your community, but definitely get out there and vote. But what's also important is knowing about your candidates, right? Knowing about what's important to you to be able to share with them. Real quick, before I get into that, I'm going to just wrap up with a few of these comments that were just posted here. So Miguel is saying North End Mason, that's the West Side. Shout out. Thank you. We finally got somebody from the West Side. Appreciate it. Chris is from the South Side. Whatever. Miguel says you can't force someone to come forward right away. It takes time. People deal with situations differently. What is she talking about? Right.
But you should come forward.
What's that? You're right.
Yeah, you should come forward.
At some point, you should.
When you don't come forward, then the evidence there's no evidence.
Yes.
When there's a sexual assault that happens, there's bruising, there's fluids, there's so many things that can help your case move forward and have the person who hurt you get charged. When you take your time and not come forward as quickly as possible, that's when you give the person that hurt you the chance not to be charged at all. Because now it's your word against theirs.
You should actually get into some shape, form, or fashion of work to empower women with with this, because I mean, what you're saying is true, but I understand that people have, like Miguel said, people react to things differently. They deal with things differently. They're not always ready and open to come out and say, this has happened to me. And a lot of the times, you have the victims who are blaming themselves, who are are shameful of how the situation happened. And not everybody has the same, I think, strength and energy as you do with the forcefulness of, I mean, you might kill someone that even tried it, but outside of
that comes into play with, I mean, I have a great support system. So I know that if something like that did happen to me, I know that my family would be there to support me. A lot of people are scared to come forward because they don't have a great support system and they don't want to deal with the backlash.
Right. I'm saying you should be able to be out there for.
You should not worry about the backlash and then worry about the person that did something to you coming to justice and not what's going to happen after.
I really think you can advocate for them. We got to see if we can get you a group involved or involved in a group. So Eric Anthony says, OMG for real wigs and dresses. Yes, we're going to get to that in a second, a little bit later on. Lisa Mundo says, yes, vote. Your voice matters. Miguel, girl, stop. Leave all that for the professionals who deal with situations like sexual assault. Wow.
He's angry.
So mad.
He is
so mad. So let's go over to voting, like we were talking about. We're going to jump in. You being married to a woman, and I think that with what issues and concerns we all have as far as citizens, right? For our candidates, we want to make sure our candidates are aware of what's important to us. What are some of the things that you think that like the LGBTQ community should be holding their elected officials accountable for, or the people who are going in office? Like what should be some of the key points that we should be holding them accountable for? Like, because I'm the first thing off the top of my head for like gay men is healthcare, right? Healthcare is super, super important for gay men. And I think that unfortunately, we have healthcare programs that are being cut out of because of budget losses, because of the politicians that are in Springfield and creating, or over in Washington, D.C., that are creating things that are important to them and not important to us. But I can only speak for being a gay man, for being a lesbian woman. What are some of the things that you would want to hold your political the people who are running candidates accountable for? Like, what platform should they be running off of?
I mean, equal rights, and I do believe that they have to work on the healthcare as well, because I mean, it's a lot of people who aren't insured, and it's a lot of people that are like, I was just listening to the radio and they were talking about how Illinois, the HIV count in Illinois is going up. Yep, don't spit it out.
Wait, what?
I love Ricky Smiley morning show, so they talk about all type of stuff.
Shout out to Ricky Smiley in the morning show. Maybe we'll get him in the room one day.
Every morning when I'm taking them kids to school, he gets me through that morning traffic. That
rush hour traffic in Chicago, it is a thing.
Yeah, they were talking about, people that are HIV positive, the number is going up in Illinois.
Well, and so the thing with that is, when I moved back to Chicago, I understood that is really plaguing Black women as a whole. And one of the shows, in fact, the reason that Rick's Room got started, shout out to Talisha Red of Sister Girl Radio here at IntellectualRadio.com, had me on her show, and we were talking about the DL community. And one of the things that I always found messy, if you will, we'll say that, here in Chicago, is the fact that there is still a DL community. And with that DL community comes the high infection of HIV, because nobody wants to get tested. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to accept their responsibility in that and get the treatment that's out there. There's so much medicine out there for, we talk about PrEP all the time, Truvada, that's out there for high risk individuals, right? Especially those that are engaging in high risk sexual behavior. And it's infecting, and the number is increasing for our Black women. But it's scary to find out that it's increasing here in Chicago. That's great. Wait, Ricky Smiley said that?
Not Ricky Smiley.
Okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
The commercials.
This was a commercial.
Blame Ricky Smiley.
Ricky, what you talking about? You ain't even here in Chicago.
Don't do him. He gets me through my mornings, and I love him.
No, Ricky cool. Ricky's cool. I mean, we share a name. I get it. I mean, his is Ricky. I'm Rick. I dropped the Y when I was younger. But anyway, I get it.
It is from the down low a lot. I think that's what it is. A lot of men don't want to come out about their sexuality, and so they hide it.
Well, so if let's say if you were, and we were watching, I think you saw the videos from the drag show pageant that took place the other night.
Yes, I did. I was like, I need somebody to beat my face, honey.
Shout out to Mr. A.V. King for what they were doing the other night at the baton. It was a great show. A lot of great talented people there, and I really enjoyed myself. In fact, my other half was there being a judge and making sure that all of the people got scored correctly, I guess, as best as he could. But it was great to see the show. But one of the questions that he asked the contestants, if you were an elected official, what would be your platform? And I thought that was such a powerful, coming close to the midterm elections, such a powerful question to pose to the contestants. So I'm curious, like if you were an elected official, what would be the platform that you would stand on that would be impactful for the LGBTQ community? Like what would be your stance? What would be your focus for?
Just equal rights all around the board, because people think that because you're a gay man or a gay woman, you're less qualified to do something. You're less qualified to hold a position, when that's not the case at all. So I would want everybody to have equal rights across the board. And like I said, healthcare is a big thing for me. Like for the Black community in general, just not even for the LGBT community, just in general. That's something that needs to be worked on.
Well, even the Black, like let's combine that, the Black LGBTQ community in Chicago, or just in general, it's because it's
Lord, let's not.
I'm just come on, let's put it out there. Like, we are still a community. We are still a people who are being. Look at our Black trans women, right? And I don't really find too many Black trans men, but Black trans women are the highest rate of murder across the board. You know what I mean? And where is their protection? Where are the politicians and the candidates that are reaching out to them? I was watching on Facebook earlier today. There was a show by, I think the gentleman's name is Maze Jackson. He's from WVON morning show.
Okay.
And he was doing an interview with Governor Rauner, and he said, he talked about how Rauner was like, they were over on 79th Street. I thought it was really funny because you kept hearing the sirens in the background. South Side. So, kept interrupting, and like whoever kept opening the door had the little, the siren, thing that goes off, and it kept making him so upset. It was so funny to watch. Like it wouldn't happen on the West Side, Maze. But
there would be trash flying everywhere, hitting them in the face. It wouldn't happen.
They were inside. There are buildings on the West Side.
There would be dust still flying through. Thank you.
But anyway, he asked Rauner the question about, how he feels about his impact with the Black vote. They had a conversation or discussion about how Republicans feel that they're not going to get the Black vote anyway. Democrats feel that they are going to get the Black vote anyway. So they don't really do a lot of politicking in the Black communities. Rauner said how, what he has done to impact that Black vote for himself. And I wonder, what are the politicians doing, if anything, to gain the LGBTQ vote? What are they doing to appeal to that community, us as a community? Exactly. So, make sure that when you're out there getting the polls together, getting the polls, you hold your officials accountable for, the community that's important to you. But all that are part of the LGBTQ community, make sure that you are getting your voice heard too as well, because if you don't, then we'll continue to fall by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what? Real quick before we wrap up, I had to bring Miss Crystal on because so Crystal is a big. I don't know. What would we call what it is that you do? Your expertise in the styling and wearing of hair in general. Let's just talk about hair in general, because you there's a way to do it. And you do it flawlessly.
I've just come into my love for wigs.
You do it flawlessly.
I was actually about to make a wig today, but I ended up taking a nap, so that didn't happen. But I'm gonna get my wig together later.
You go get a wig together? What?
Yes.
So, like, here's the thing. Here's my question for you. Like, what are we doing, or what aren't we doing? I don't know if you saw the show that we talked about. You saw the show about the weaves and the person.
Oh no, I saw the drag show with the wigs and weaves.
Oh no. Yeah, so the show that we did in Rick's room, we talked about personal appearance and the importance of it, and then unfortunately how it's kind of gone by the wayside. Like, I shouldn't see. What is it? Your netting up here, the screen netting. Was that what that's called? I shouldn't see that. You know what I mean? And we've lost the art of. So if you would just kind of share just a few tips to help those who are watching who love wearing wigs and weaves, how the best way to appropriately wear those so that they could look better in their life moving forward.
The best way to wear a good weave is to spend some money on your weave. If you want to have a nice weave, then go out and get you a nice quality weave. And then if you want to get a cheap weave, at least leave some hair out and then make your regular hair look nice so it looks presentable. Like, I hate when I see a person with a shiny wig on their head and it's so like that plastic Barbie doll hair drives me nuts. Or especially like when I was in a store. Now my wife hates going to the wig store with me. Like it's a thing. She'd be so angry.
Why is she angry to the wig store?
She hates it. And I was trying to use her head I was like, please, can I put this over your head? So, instead of my mannequin head, I just want to use your head to, make my wig. Use the mannequin head. Still came out fabulous, but it would have came out better if I had a regular shaped head instead of a round mannequin head. My thing is with weaves, people buy cheap weaves. And with cheap weaves, it looks cheap.
Because it's cheap.
You can't expect to look like Sierra and Beyonce when you buying your wig from the wig store on 147th.
Yes, on 100. See, not on Madison and Pulaski, 147th and Sibley.
Because I'm from out south, but Madison and Pulaski, they have the worst wig.
I don't believe you.
Yes. And I went to a store down there, and inside of a store, they was trying to sell me some fake Jordans. Inside of a store. How? How did you get it? How?
Because we're innovative on the west side.
Storefront, and I'm looking at the shoes like, no, this is fake. And I knew it. I'm like, no one cares though. No one cared. Somebody outside trying to sell me loose cigarettes. I'm walking in. He like loud. I'm like, Jesus, I need to get back out south, Lord.
Whatever they do on the south side too.
It was a tumbleweed of McDonald's bags and blunt papers. Just
here you go.
Tumbling down Madison.
Listen, my other half is from out south, and we have this conversation all the time. There are no sidewalks out south. We have sidewalks on the west side. We don't have sidewalks.
Because everybody walking out there. Nobody got a car. Everybody walking.
Hey, we staying healthy, and you would think that my big self, I'd be out there walking with them, but I'm not. I need to though.
It is sidewalks. It's sidewalks everywhere on the south side.
The south side is country. All right. Well, listen, we need to go ahead and get things wrapped up here. So, but all in all, before we get finished with that, basically invest in some good hair.
Invest in some good hair. Yes.
Invest in
some good hair. And you know what helps me? YouTube helps me.
YouTube helps you.
YouTube helps me make wigs. YouTube helps me sew things. YouTube helps me fix things around my house. Get on YouTube.
Hey, YouTube helps you do everything, though.
Yes, it does. YouTube helped me make this U-part wig, honey.
Come on,
5-minute video. Went to the store, got me some hair, and I got it together.
I'm sorry. We're good. You're good. It's okay because we're wrapping up. And y'all make sure that you check out my girl, Dana Ben, Dana on IntellectualRadio.com. She'll be coming up here soon. I missed the Wednesday crew, but I also actually will be changing dates here. Rick's Room will be on a new date and time in the next week or so. We'll be moving to Monday nights. So I got to leave the Wednesday crew, but that's the date I can do it now. I got this new 9 to 5. Which is also kind of like a 9 to 8, but whatever, 9 to 7. Don't do that. It was fun. We had a good time. Chris and I used to work together, and I missed the crew over there at CHOL number 20 out in Oak Lawn. But listen, I didn't. I just said CHOL and I stopped there. So it's been fun. Crystal, thank you so much for hanging out today. Did you have a good time?
I did.
Good. You coming back to the room whenever you can?
I can come back.
All right. What's up? Oh, yeah, we're done. Oh, well, so listen, this is the thing. You got the Facebook Live still going, so make sure you share this on your page. Get your friends and family involved and followers. Let them know what you think and let them talk to you about it. It's been a great having you in the room today. Share this. Just make sure that you download iHeartRadio.com and check out all of the Intellectual Radio shows as well. But special thanks to Mr. Al Young for producing Rick's Room, Al Young Enterprises, providing resources in performance and production engagements, artistic development, personal image consulting, and now your dining needs with EAT by IMAY Roman numeral 3. That's everything Al touches. Give him a call email Al Young Roman numeral 3 at me.com. That's Al Young Enterprises. Whatever you do it with passion. Been so fun hanging out with y'all in the room. I appreciate you coming on through, Miss Crystal, all the way out to the west side. We appreciate it. You'll be fine getting back home. Shout out to all the Intellectual Radio family. And we're out. Get out of my room. See you later.
Going back out south.